Philippines. Again, I'm the project coordinator, and this project is basically, where is here? This project is the objectives of the project are basically to create what we call easy to use methodology in order to measure and assess the impact of cultural tourism in Europe and in the development of each region in Europe. In order to do this, we aim to design what we call the IMPACTOUR tool, and this tool will be based on the methodology which depends on key success factors and on cultural tourism strategies. So these key success factors will come from cultural tourism data, which will came from sustainable tourism. So this sustainable tourism data and the cultural tourism strategies are going to be gathered, designed with our partners, what we call our stakeholders community, where all of you take part. The methodology that we are going to design, and that is intended to be designed during the project, which has a 3-year duration, starting on January this year. In between, we have a 6-month extension due to the COVID situation. So basically, the project will have 3.5 years in total duration. The project will design this IMPACTOUR tool based on cultural tourism policies, practices, success factors, data, strategies that are going to be shared between us and the stakeholders. So the tool will depend on the lessons that we have learned through the project and will be continuously updated with those lessons in order to finally get a tool that help all of us assessment the tourism strategies, the cultural tourism strategies that we want to access all over Europe. We have amongst the project 12 partners from 9 countries, 5 validation pilots, and 14 data information pilots. So these data information pilots, where most of you are coming from today, which altogether we represent 14 different countries in European Union. So these 14 data information pilots are for us of utmost importance, because if you see here, and without going into much technical details, the project has one work package that is responsible for assess the impact of cultural tourism in Europe as it is now. And for this, we need urgently and crucially, we need the information from that information pilot. So we need your information, we need your opinions, we need your views. We need to discuss these with you so that we can design the IMPACTOUR methodology. So the IMPACTOUR methodology, the methodology that we are going to design all over the project, we will only make sense if it is shared with you. And this is why I'd like to call the Wild World Web data information pilot. So this WWW of data information pilot, I like to say there's the who, why, and what of data information pilot. So the who is basically the 14 data information pilots that are already mentioned, that you are here today, and I personally acknowledge and thank you for your efforts to be here with us today. Although we would very much like that today's meeting was supposed to be a presential meeting. So today's meeting was not intended to be an online meeting. So it was a presential meeting with all of you, with us together discussing these ideas. Unfortunately, for the reasons you know, we have to have this online meeting, which I honestly hope that the next meeting that we have with all of you will be a presential meeting with all of you together with us discussing the project. So the 14 data information pilot plus 2 more pilots that we already have after the project started. And why? Why are these pilots? Why are you here? Why we think of you? Because you are representative examples of the different cultural tourism across all over Europe. So we have different types, different characteristics, different scenarios of cultural tourism that all of you represents this diversity. We want you to co-create IMPACTOUR tool with us. So this tool will help you and will be used across Europe to create a more sustainable tourism, but we want you to help us design it. Your experience, your field experience is of utmost importance. We want you to get involved in our decision process. We want you to give opinions, to give your views anytime we have to design the tool. And it's also important for you, this will increase some visibility for your area, for your region, not only visibility, but also some promotion. That is also very important for us, that all our stakeholders community are engaged and benefit from being engaged within the project. And the what? So the what is somehow what I already said. So we want you to share your needs and concerns with us, because this is important for designing the methodology. We need your vision. Again, it's very important because all of you have different visions of the issue and we want to share all of those visions. We need your feedback. So the tool will be designed, and as long as it will be designed, either the tool, either the methodology, we need your feedback to assess its usefulness of this tool. We want you to participate on our meetings as today, and we want you to collaborate with us on the solutions. So for us, you are not part of the problem, you are part of the solution. So we really need you to help us with the solutions. Later on, in time, we also may need to share some data from you, because as you may understand from my previous words, the tool will be an inference tool, a machine learning tool, artificial intelligence tool. And for this, we need some data. And we are also counting on you to share the data as needed. Also, we want you to use the tools, to test the tools, and help us also to promote you and your region. So this is the who, why, and what of the data information pilot inside the project. So in a nutshell, this is what the project is all about. And in a few words, what we want from you. Of course, in a few minutes, we have time to discuss and to hear your opinions. But now, without losing too much time, I would give the word to Paulo. Paulo is the responsible for the work package addressing data information pilots, and he has some words for you. And after that, we have Ivor, which is responsible for the dissemination and for the community engagement. And after these two presentations, we'll have some time to give you the word and not to be only ourselves speaking. So thank you very much again for being here. And I will give the word to Paulo.
Thank you, João. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Can you see it properly? Okay.
Yes.
Great. So, as João was correctly saying, our project is relying a lot on the role of this community of European sites, which have decided to or have a high value when it comes to cultural tourism, sustainable tourism, new form of tourism that could take a different terminology, but that are going all in the direction of the same values. the project is really based on the idea to have a very proactive involvement of the sites, because you represent the those who have the data on which the instrument of IMPACTOUR project we rely on in order to develop both the methodology and the tools. So I will introduce a little bit of the work that we are going to do specifically in connecting with you and in understanding with you what are the most relevant indicators, data that are available right now, data that maybe are missing in some sites, interesting stories, success factors, and even, which is something that I think it's not so covered usually, but also any case of things that are not working properly and that might be very useful for us as well in order to shape a very useful instrument for the for measuring the impact of cultural tourism in European sites. So, okay. The main objectives of the work that we are going to do is, as we are showing today, first of all, creating a very strong dialogue with the community of the sites that we want to involve, because you are part of the discussion that the project is going to have and is having. So we do not want just to get data from you, but we want to understand with you how the collection of the data should work. What are the data that actually are relevant for us? And probably some of you have already started to help us by being involved in some of the interviews that have been run in the first phase of the project. We really believe that there is a potential to connect all the sites that we are starting to work on and to have even more outside Europe to participate and have their words about how to approach the topic. So for us, there are some very important keywords, which are, first of all, the participation of the community, then this bottom-up approach and a community engagement. There are very specific objectives in the work that we are doing, and the first one is that we want to have to establish data to start a process for a comparative assessment of the impact of cultural tourism. But at the same time, understand what are those data that can be very important for the development of the IMPACTOUR methodology. So the innovation that our project is bringing among all the indicators that already exist, with a proactive approach towards the future. You have already seen this map. Actually, here we have the list of the data information pilot. As you see, the number is increasing constantly. We have some new sites that just joined. I want also to mention that we have data validation pilots. So the main difference is that the first sites will contribute by working with us in setting what might be the existing indicators that we have to consider and the data currently available from every site. The data validation pilot will be the one which will actually validate what the IMPACTOUR project is going to propose and implement. So our work, how it's going to happen. First of all, and probably you will hear more from Ivor presentation, we are going to create a community of sites. Some of you gave already showed their interest in the project already at the application stage. So you probably already signed a letter of interest. Some of you have been involved in a second stage. The important thing is that we are going to create the ground for a community that really believes in the fact that what the project is going to develop is something that has a strong value, because it will be beneficial for the future strategies that the sites and all the stakeholders involved in the sites can put in place to promote cultural tourism and to give visibility to the impact that cultural tourism had in a given area. we want to create dialogue. So this is just today is just the first step of you know, how we see this dialogue to happen. We are going to make a collection of data, which is going to happen in 2 different phases, and this is like part of the work that is going to happen in the mainly in the fall this year. So we believe that it's somehow important to understand who are the players, the different players, the different stakeholders that are relevant in a site and that can work with us. So one of the main activities in the community is not only to connect the sites, but also to understand who are the people and the organization inside every single site that we want to have and the partners want to have a dialogue with, and to whom present the model and the work that the project is doing. It is also important to create this dialogue because we are co-designing things. We are going to decide together the best way for us to really collect data, what are the relevant data to collect, where something is missing, understanding why some indicators have not been enough explored, and so on. As Joao was saying, we had in plan before the current situation to have a very nice event in that was supposed to happen probably in our city in Matera in the south of Italy, to invite you all and have actually the opportunity not only to talk through emails or through webinars or through Zoom, but also directly and face to face, which is always one of the best way to create a sense of community. And we really hope that this action can be somehow saved for the future. It is also important to understand how and what are the main areas where we are going to search for data. Basically, the area of impact that we're going to explore are related to the cultural element, the social element, the economic element, and the environmental element. And we again have we are very interested in understanding, of course, the things that make a strategy in a site successful, but also to understand where the failures were, why they actually happened, because this is really how we can contribute to make the whole structure of the project effective. So very briefly, and this will be like much more detailed in the next phases, what we are going to understand and the way we are going to collect data can be based on a different number of methodologies. So we are going to launch online surveys or make direct interviews. We are going to work more closely with each one of you in a focus group. We are going to activate this community inside the communities. And of course, in this work, we are going to try and take out as many data as possible in order to build the IMPACTOUR methodology. And to, let's say, close a little bit this introduction to the work that we hope we are going to do together with you, and leave on the table some question also for you to discuss. What, as a partnership, we were thinking and having as a guiding question for this first phase, were these 3, but many more, but just for this, the purpose of this webinar, we were thinking about understanding clearly who are the actors that have a role into the pilot side, and who are the actors that we should interact with, who has actually access to the data, so where each site collects the data that can be relevant for the project, and actually what kind of data are available and what kind of data are we going to collect. So this was very a very focused presentation of the next phase of our project, which is going to happen probably after summer. But in the presentation of Ivor, I guess we will hear about the interest of the project to start building this community already at this stage, so not to wait by the time when we're going to actually make the data collection. So this is it from my side, and of course I'm happy to contribute with some of the questions that might come from the participants. Thank you.
Thank you, Paulo. Ivor, would you be so kind to make the last presentation?
I will, thank you. Just there we are. Coming up for you now, I hope. So, good afternoon, everyone. You can see the screen now?
Yeah, but you have to start the presentation.
Yeah, there we are. And this is the third part of the presentation now. I'd like to introduce to you the community which you are all part of, an online community that we have built in partnership with eWorks, who's an associated partner of ENAT. So we have quite a cluster of team members that you've heard today, with Ana Grazia, Emiliano, Dario, Caterina, Ana Garcia, who's not with us at the moment, and also the team at eWorks, which is in Athens in Greece. They're the team that makes our website, actually. So we brought them on board to help us to make this online community. This is the Facebook without all the problems of Facebook. It's the Twitter without the problems of Twitter. And it's also the place where we hope all the partners and all the pilot teams will get together and share information about what we're doing, why we're doing the project, yes, the who, what, and the how, and when as well, that Joao was referring to. It's a place to talk, it's a place to share ideas, it's a place where we shall all interact throughout the project to oil the wheels, if you like, and to make the interaction, the communication as smooth as possible. So I'm just going to take you through the slides now. I can see Joao is sitting up there in the corner, so I'll just move him down here, sorry. And we'll just go through the slides one by one. So if I can move on. What happened there? There we are. All right, like that. And you will have seen, I hope, the ImpactTour website is at www.impacttour.eu, and the community is accessed from this tab here. I'm showing you community tab in the main website. And when you click on the community, all of you who are already in the community, you've received an email invitation. So it's by invitation only, this community. That's why I say it has all the advantages of not being part of the global social media channels. We are a community together with 73 members now, and it's an open group, and that means that we can all interact with each other through this community page, and the page is beneath. And we have an additional menu below the picture of a square in Brussels at the moment. Maybe we should change that with one of the destination pilots. But we have a stream, which is where we are right now. We have an about page, we have events, topics, library, members, manage members. But and it's also indicated that I have joined. And what I'll take you to first is the profile page. Up in the corner, there should be a little window where you find your profile. And that takes us then to the ImpactTour community. Now, what is the community? Sorry, I'm going to show you the link directly from the links in a moment. So first of all, what is the ImpactTour community? it is as we say, the open social platform for sharing our knowledge, for communicating between the team members and all the partners, and for discussion and suggestions and the presentation of ideas, etc. Within the community pages, you can start a topic for discussion. You can introduce a topic, and from there will be a string of comments and additional. You can put documents, you can put pictures, you can put audio files, whatever you like, to generate discussion around the topic or to illustrate your insights and your particular position on any given topic. You can add a library item, as I just said, that could be a document or a video file, for example. You can also publicize an event that you may be having, or you can invite people to join events which are related to the subject of IMPACTOUR. And you can start a new group if you want to discuss in a specific forum. You can start a group and invite members of the community to join that group. So if you wanted to create a group on data profiles, for example, or on artificial intelligence, you can start a group like that. You give it a name, and I'll show you in a minute the way that's done. And of course, you can also receive direct emails and messages when the new items are added or when someone has commented on your item. And that helps to keep everyone in touch and drive the project forward. The key thing about your emails is that you shouldn't worry, don't panic if you've been getting rather a lot of emails just now in advance of this webinar. You can adjust the settings to decide how often you get emails from IMPACTOUR community. So you don't have to get them immediately that somebody posts a new topic, for example. You can get your emails once a day or once a week, or you can stop emails altogether if you like. You can also be anonymous on the platform to the extent that we see your name. Sorry, not anonymous, but we don't have to have your email showing to everyone on the platform if you want to retire into the background a little bit and maybe avoid too many emails. So in the IMPACTOUR community, just showing you on the right-hand side there, again, the contents here and the way in to the different functions of the site. We've created already in advance the data pilot sites. They will have their own groups. So we can start collecting information about the sites, and you can even make your own profile of the destination. I think it's certainly not a requirement that we don't have to deliver a particular presentation of each data pilot beyond the one that we put in the proposal, but it would be very nice to have some more information about your destination as a cultural tourism destination. Perhaps part of your the advertising that you already have, you could put links to your web pages and information about your pilot site. I'm talking mainly to the data pilots at the moment. So we can go to the live site now and have a look at the functions that are on the site there. So I'll just switch away from here, and we will, that's to contact me and the ENAT team. We're at enattaccessibletourism.org. So we go on from here and get back to the website. Right, so you're seeing, actually, this is my website, so I have had some administrative tabs here at the top, but basically we're in the website of IMPACTOUR here. We go to the community page, and I just wanted to show you around the community a little bit. So I'd said to you before, we could go to the profile page, and this is what you can all do to update your profile. You can put in your picture, if you like, or any picture you like, to illustrate who you are, where you come from. So Stonehenge for you. You get a list of the messages that you've had from colleagues. The things you've posted will be shown in your stream on your profile. So I've been quite busy because I'm supposedly the community manager. So I've been quite busy putting things together and adding things to the community. But you will see from here again, from the profile page, that you can change your profile. You can look at events. So this event, for example, if I look at my events, oh, we didn't find one. Okay, there should be, if we look at events from here, what happened there? I've lost my way. Okay, we'll come back a step. There isn't a, I thought this would take us to the event we're in right now, but we'll try again in a moment. So my groups, for example, I'm in several groups already. We have work package groups, and these may not necessarily concern all the pilots, but there are other groups under the older items where there is a group, for example, I've created a group for Image Bank where you can put pictures from your destinations. And then we will have a group for each data pilot, which will look like this. So it's ready to add to the group. In each group, I've put names of the members who are, these are the statutory people at the moment who are in here, myself, Joao and Pedro. But we will also add, of course, the members like Igor, wasn't it? And from Bosnia-Herzegovina. And we will also have all of you in your respective groups. So to go back to the other functions here across the top, we can add new event, new topic, new page, new group, or a new library item. It's quite simple. If I just show you the library item, we have some what we call metadata for the items so that we can find them again. We can put a title, the type of the library item. Is it an article or a book, audio, database, deliverable, image, photo, video? And we can show the visibility. So we can choose if we show it to the groups that we have. Here they are all listed. Or we can show it to more than one of these. We can also decide whether it goes to the general public as well. That's people who are not even a member of the community. It will be shown on the main website or just in the community, visible to the logged in members. And you can write a description here and add pictures and so on. And then you bring up your library item. So in this way, we will gather a whole lot of library items for the site. I just flick back. You can see in the library at the moment, what's happened for the library? That's because I'm still in this group. I have to go back out to community, sorry. I go back out to community and now I look in the library and you will see we have a number of documents here. We have the Sustainable Urban Development Strategy of Municipality of Trikala. We have user guide for the IMPACTOUR community, very useful for all of us. So that's one that you should go to quite soon to get more information about how to use the community pages. And that's it really. It's up to you now to find your way around. Let us know if you have any questions or comments on how to improve this, because it's still a work in progress. We can extend the functionalities and we can improve most things, I think. Whichever things you would like to have changed or improved, please let us know, and we'll try to bring this up to the best standard we can possibly make for our social community. So I'll stop there and invite questions or comments on this and the other presentations that we've heard. Thank you.
Thank you, Ivor. And probably you can stop sharing the screen. And okay, so